Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host, and I'm so happy to be here. It is the 2nd of March already. Is this year already flying by, or is it just me? It is the just about 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm so happy to be here. I want to let you know that I am over in the chat room. You can get there by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number one, number two radio.com. You can also watch this event rather than listen to it if you like. I am streaming it on YouTube and Facebook. Just look for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic in either place and you will find it. So easy enough to find. I want to let you know that I'm paying attention to the chat in both places. So if you're in the chat room, I am watching that chat, but if you are in either live stream and you're commenting there, I'm keeping an eye on that as well. So no matter how you slice it, we should be able to stay connected. So good to see you guys all. I'm going to hop over to the chat room right now. Here we go. Okay. So how is everyone doing? I'm curious. We've been in such weird energy. It actually feels a little better this week, a little more hopeful, a little brighter. So I'm excited. I really felt like that full moon was going to gather up some of the blah that we've been kind of rolling in and help us get into a little bit better energy. And I think that's really happening. I feel like that's the case. So very good. So hello to Dodie, Liliana, Liliane, Sharon, Sid, Renee, Jessica, Laurie. Welcome, everybody. Love to see you guys all here. Yeah, so we'll see. It does feel a little brighter and more hopeful, and I'm hoping that that really carries on because I think we've all had enough of the dark days of winter or of life. And so, yeah, I do have a little show and tell for you. As you guys know, I've had a couple of loss in my family here recently, and my cousin Becky passed a couple of weeks ago. And of course, I volunteered to make some keepsakes for her daughter and her sisters with some of her funeral flowers. So I tried a different application for pendants this time. And so I'm showing them in the chat room, but they are, and I'll show you guys a picture too, but they are metal bezels. And so you put your flower petals and you pour your resin into them and cure them. And I'm just really in love with the way they're turning out. Really pretty. So, yeah, I know. They're always prettier when I'm looking at them than when I try and show you guys on this screen. But anyway, you get the gist, I think. That one's heart shaped. Aren't they pretty? That family, of course, this is an extension of my family, so it shouldn't come as a huge surprise, but there are a lot of members in that family. And I wanted to not leave out the nieces and, because she meant so much to everyone in her family and I didn't want to leave anyone out. So I called her sister yesterday and said, hey, I'm working on these pendants between sisters, nieces, steps, or not, well, yeah, some stepchildren and some, and mothers and stepmothers. Anyway, 20. 20. So anyway, I'm thrilled to do it. But yeah, so I'm making 20 necklaces for them. But anyway, they're just turning out so pretty and I'm so excited about it. So yeah, thank you, Liliane. Yeah, my poor family has been through it the last couple of weeks. A death of an older uncle. He was in his 80s, but it was a tough one nonetheless. And yeah, and then my poor Becky was only 51. It really sucked. She just didn't wake up one morning and I guess had been having a little trouble with her heart. But anyway, we don't like it. We don't like it at all. So I'm hoping this is it for us and we can have a break. But anyhow, I am really, really excited about those necklaces. I'm excited about the possibilities, not just for funeral flowers, but for other fun things. Oh, and I have to tell you guys, I found something I want. I know, really big surprise. Poor Scott. He can hardly keep up with me. Oh, Lillian. She said, that leads me to ask, can you communicate with members of your own family? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, my dear cousin, we buried her dad, last Thursday. And I texted her. I started thinking about her Saturday night and texted her and said, hey, just wanted to tell you I love you and share a couple of insights from your dad if you're interested. And she does similar work to me, so I knew she would be. But he had made some comments during his funeral that I wanted to share with her. And we had a pretty big mediumship session with him. Really, for someone being gone a week, that's pretty big. Some people, after they pass, it takes them a little while. I mean, usually you can get a little from them, but it takes some people some healing time before they're really ready to communicate all that much. But some people are like right out of the gate, really clear and easy to get. So, and he had a lot to say, but a lot that she needed to hear. His death was a suicide. And so, in cases of suicide, there is certainly so many more unanswered questions and things that people need to hear and need to know so that they can start making any kind of sense out of that loss, And so, yeah, we spent hours on the phone Saturday night working with him, and it was really, really good. So, yeah. So that answers your question. But yeah, so here's what I want, you guys. This is insane. I want not a food dehydrator, a freeze dryer. Have you guys ever seen these? They are so freaking cool. They're stupidly expensive, and it makes no sense at all for me to buy one. None. At least that's what Scott wants me to think. Because they're $2,000 or $3,000. But so this was my thought. You could take funeral flowers and wedding flowers or other keepsake flowers, and you can freeze dry them. And freeze dried flowers hold up for years and years and years, and they keep their shape and their color. Like they basically come out of the freeze dryer looking almost exactly like they went in. And so, for my own purposes, I thought, wow, it would be really cool to be able to freeze dry the flowers that I'm using for keepsakes and not have to dry them traditional ways because it really compromises the color. They're not the same at all after you've dried them. They just aren't. And you could then you could offer that as a service to people, not just putting stuff in resin, but being able to, just, hey, you can bring your flowers over here and I'll put them through the freeze drying process and then you'll have them preserved for a long time. My wedding bouquet was freeze dried. Not after my wedding, before I bought freeze dried flowers for my bouquet because they hold up so well and last so long. I still have my bouquet and it's in pretty good shape, surprisingly. Even being after, being stuffed in a cedar chest for, I don't know, how long have I been married? 23 years. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyhow. So we'll see. Maybe I will get one. Maybe I'll just get crazy and do it. But right now, Scott's still 23. Haven't we? I don't know. Scott's he just talked in my ear and scared me to death. I don't know if you noticed, but is it 24? It's 23. It's 24 years this year in May. Scott, I know. This is the problem with having your husband as your producer. You don't get away with anything. Yeah. Oh, Sid, Scott, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you that Sid says it sounds like an amazing tool and a wise business investment. Yep. See, I think so too. I actually think it would pay for itself pretty quickly. Or if one of you guys want to buy one, I'll just send my flowers to you. See? Again, something I totally don't need and really want. This is my kitchen as well. I am a kitchen gadget fool. I want it all, and then I never use it. Maybe twice, or 3 times. But yes, I have problems. I don't know. What do you guys do this? Do you see like every kitchen tool that comes along, you have to have it? I am so bad for this. It's crazy. But I want it, I want to try it. I want to see if I can do it. I guess probably that's it, right? You want to see if you can do it. Sometimes you can. I don't know. One time, Scott was so tired of how full my kitchen cupboards were of all of these like little appliances and things I wasn't really using that he boxed up a whole box of them and put them out in storage. and I didn't even miss them, you guys. It took quite a while for me to even notice they were gone. And then finally one day I was looking for my pasta roller and discovered that a bunch of my stuff was gone and I didn't even know it. That's what a sickness this is. It's ridiculous. But when you love to cook, you know? Yep. Yeah. Lillian says, yes, I want it. I buy it. I sell it. That's a good idea. That's what I should do. Yeah. I don't get that far. I want it. I buy it. Scott puts it in storage. That's what happens. Oh, dear. Anyway, so those are the things that are rolling around in my wild head these days. But I don't know. I still think I'm going to get a food dehydrator. It's just something I'm thinking about. I really do want one. So I thought maybe what I should do is some kind of like an Etsy Blitz, because here's the truth. I have so many pieces that I have not put on Etsy or anywhere that are just, you know, like I've created a ton of stuff that I haven't even tried to sell. So I thought maybe what I should do is make a deal with myself that I will get all of my pieces posted and I will continue to create and put everything towards a dehydrator. And I would imagine that if I would really apply myself in a few months, I could probably just buy one in cash. And maybe that's just what I'll do. So we'll see. I don't know. We're getting into a very busy period for us because Mars, of course, she had softball tryouts over the weekend. And not that, there was any question that she would make the team, of course, but, not only did she make the team, but she was voted as the head captain. So she's really, really excited about that piece. She embarrassed herself yesterday. And I have to tell you guys this because Mars does not embarrass herself ever, ever. She's very Scorpio that way, right? She's on top of shit. She does not embarrass herself. She does not do goofy things. It is really rare for something like this to happen. And I am just laughing so hard about it because it's just funny. So she has all these different colleges that are recruiting her right now, right, to play softball. And they text quite a bit, about every week. They send her a text, just how are you? Checking in. Do you have any questions for us? Things like that. And we have scheduled visits at most of these schools coming up in April, but they keep close contact because they want to make sure that you're still thinking about them. Well, one of the schools played their first series over the weekend, and damn, they did an awesome job. I'm so excited for this school. I hope she goes here. But anyway, it's her choice, not mine. So I'm trying to, shut my mouth about it. But anyway, so she texted all of her coaches yesterday to say, hey, I made the varsity team. I'm the captain. This is what's happening with me. And then she was supposed to text the one school and say, hey, I caught one of your games over the weekend. You guys looked great. And tell your second baseman that was an amazing catch. Well, she texted it, you guys, to the wrong coach. That's so bad. She was so embarrassed. She nearly died when she realized what she had done. And that coach texted back, actually, we haven't had our first game yet. We're playing our first game this week on Wednesday. She nearly died of embarrassment. And again, it's not even funny, except for that this kid does not embarrass herself. She does not misstep. She just doesn't. So, I've laughed quite a bit about it and teased her. And of course, she fixed it. She just texted that coach back and said, hey, I'm really sorry. That was meant for a different coach. But when, is your game being streamed? I would really like to watch you guys play, and it's all fine. And I'm sure it's happened before. Not only that, surely they know she's talking to more than one school. They know that. But anyway, kind of hilarious. Her response is what killed me. She was so mortified. She just doesn't embarrass herself like that. If I did that, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But she does not. Poor kid. Anyway, all is well. And she learned a quick lesson about, being careful about who you're texting and know that maybe label their names in your phone. That's all. All righty. Well, let's take a look. I have to say, Kelly was just pointing out something that we should all remember. Freeze-dried berries. Correct. We need those in our lives, don't we? We do. I understand that freeze-dried candy is outrageously good too. I don't know how much that would help me, but anyway, see, there's lots of reasons why, Scott. Lots of reasons why. Yeah, freeze-dried Oreo. This is Scott's demise is Oreos, actually. So, freeze-dried Oreos, they might be amazing. They might be really terrible, but you know, maybe he'd love them. I think we'll go with that. Freeze-dried Oreos. I've heard they're amazing. He's gonna want those. There you go. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Sid says, do I want a dehydrator or a freeze dryer? No, a freeze dryer. Yes. Yep. Freeze dryer. Totally different. Yeah. But I don't want I don't want a freeze dryer necessarily for food. I really want it for flowers more than anything. But anyway, I know it's ridiculous. I've spent a stupid amount of time researching freeze dryers now, because because of course I have. And that could be time I could be putting stuff on Etsy, you guys. I've got to get a hold of my life. Okay. Let's take a look at Luminous. You guys know I publish a magazine once a week with a bunch of my friends over at Luminous Magazine. So I'm putting a link in both chat rooms, but you can also just find it on my website under Luminous Magazine. That's Katie-Weaver. That would be helpful. Katie-Weaver under Luminous Magazine. So that's how to find it. But let's take a look. There's a few things in Luminous I want to look at. I really love the cover this week. You've got these fancy little meringues and a cup of tea and a book. The only thing that there's a tea diffuser and there's tea spilled out of it on a book. And that's a little horrifying to me. It's dry, it looks like, but still like, yikes. That's all. You don't treat your books like that. But I really like this picture. I don't know why. That's when I was looking for a cover. I was looking for pictures of tea and books. That just felt cozy and right. All right. I actually called the magazine this week the Hope in Action edition because we do feel more hopeful this week. And I think that this is a good week if you've been feeling kind of stuck, if you've been feeling like you're not sure how to move forward or feeling like, you're a little stuck in hot lava here, hot lava, cold lava. This is a good week to take some action. It doesn't mean you're going to do it all, right? But this is a good week to take some action forward on anything that you've been wanting to do that you haven't quite been able to push yourself forward to do. So with hope, because there is some hope in the air, there's some better physical energy, better creative energy in the air for all of us empaths that are just, we have really been thrown topsy-turvy the last while. And even with our best intentions to not be, we have been. So I am, dare I say, hopeful for this week. Okay. In my musings, I shared a song. I was listening to a podcast. There's a podcast on Spotify. It's new. There's only 2 episodes called Renegades. It's a conversation between Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen. They happen to be good friends. And it's awesome. And they were talking about, in the first episode, they were talking about a song, a Springsteen song called My Hometown. And I mean, one thing I got from this podcast is realized how much I like Springsteen and that I never turned his music on. So I've done that. But I was rocking out to Springsteen in the car last night and my daughter was like, have I heard this person before? And I was like, well, you probably have in some application, but even she liked it. And she is a real bee about my music. So see, pretty good. But anyway, he was talking about how that song, his hope for that song was that everyone would be able to find something about their hometown, And honestly, and it's kind of funny because I live in my hometown. It's not like I went anywhere, I live here. But this town's changed a lot from when I was a kid and from the hometown that I would probably identify with. And I don't know, that song's just made me kind of nostalgic and got me thinking about my own hometown and what I have loved about it and what I have not loved about it, what it still needs to be fixed, and what is great about living here. And I don't know. This just stirred something in me, so I shared it with you guys. So the original music video of his that song is here as well. So see what you think. And if you like Obama and Springsteen, I highly recommend that you check out their podcast. And if you don't, it's fine. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to fight. But I almost didn't publish this one because I went, oh, I hate getting political because I don't want to. I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to have a thing with anybody. I really don't. I think we are beyond that, aren't we? And we're in a place where we should be able to cooperate and love each other and look beyond those differences and quit letting the establishment win by making us think that we have to be so different. So if my talks about President Obama offend you, I apologize. It's not my intention. This isn't about him. It's just about that podcast that brought something up for me. So that's all. All right. So, bitch scopes this week. She says, eye on the prize. No, the other one. I love what she had to say. And I agree with Kelly. She's talking about that this week. We're in a little brighter energy and not every day. However, there's some things to consider, but lots of good news, I think. So let's look at bitch scopes for Pisces, considering that it's Pisces' birthday. I have a Pisces. We're going to spoil her ridiculous for her birthday. She just doesn't know it yet. And I'm saying that because she sometimes listens to this show. So I don't want to tell you. I will share with you what we're doing for her. It's absolutely awesome. But I can't do it yet because her birthday's not here yet. Okay, Pisces, your creative energy is very high right now, even though you may not feel very excited about anything at the moment. It's time to mix things up. Life is a big cauldron of all things, but you may be keeping your stuff compartmentalized. Let your sexy energy seep into your work and let your work habits seep into your home life and your home energy seep into your circle of friends and your friends seep into yourself. Where you feel constricted, do something that feels expansive. Where you feel afraid, do something that makes you feel joyful. Use your creative energy, your creative fire to shake off the heaviness of monotony. That is awesome. I'm sending that to her, Kelly. That is so good. Thank you. I think everyone wants to be a Pisces right now, right? I think so. Of course, that watery energy, I'll take a hold of it for sure, but that feels really, really good. All right, so be sure that you check out your scope. So my tip this week, feeling blue, buy yourself flowers. A bright, beautiful bouquet in the house can do wonders for your spirit. There have been flowers on my table for a couple of weeks now. Truly, they were, funeral flowers, but they still have been bright and beautiful, and I have loved them. And it was making me think, it's been a while since I just kept a bouquet on the table. And I think I might need a little more of that in my life. So, but having flowers in the house has actually really felt good to me. So I thought that might be a good suggestion for some of you too that might need to perk up a little bit. Next time you are even at the supermarket and you see a display of bright, beautiful flowers, maybe you deserve a few for your kitchen table, right? I think you do. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Back to Luminous, see if there's anything else we want to talk about. All right. Caroline is talking about zeolites in connection to digestive health. Really interesting stuff. Okay. And then I wanted to share with you what's going on. Oh, actually, first, the Magic Monday message from Melissa this week is so good. First of all, the postcard is so pretty. It looks like a set of wings that are made in part with peacock feathers, and they're so pretty. The message is, I am enough. I absolutely loved it. I think that is a message that we probably should all have tattooed on our foreheads, not only for us to remember that we are enough, but for other people to remember that they are enough. Because, or that we are enough, right? We are always training other people in the way they're allowed to treat us. And if everyone around you knew that you believe that you are enough, that you believe that you deserve a place at the table, that you believe that you have every right to be here, how differently would they treat you? Unfortunately, not everybody gets it, right? Not everybody gets it. Some people seem to think that in order to elevate themselves, they have to put others down, and in order to get what they want, they have to take from other people, which is really sad because it's not actually true. But there are certainly a level of people who think that, and it sucks. But I think at this point, it's really important for us to remember that within ourselves. I am enough. Okay. Maybe next week I will literally write it on my forehead and show up to this show. I would like to see the look on Scott's face when he sees me walk from my bedroom into my office with having written something on my forehead for this show. That almost would make it worth it, to be honest. But let us please remember, right? All right. I want to share our shows this week from True Crime Paranormal. As you guys know, I do have a show with Christy over on YouTube, and it's a podcast all over everywhere podcasts are casted. And so our shows so far this week. Yesterday we did Michelle Reedenbach. Michelle Reedenbach disappeared in Pennsylvania in 1981, and just was a teenager that literally just vanished. Was within a block of between her work and a pharmacy, and just literally vanished, and there was never another trace of her. Her family has no idea what happened to her. One of those kinds of cases. So I presented that case to Christy, and she did a cold read and did a psychic reading on what she believes happened to Michelle. And then yesterday, so I told Scott a joke. He didn't think it was funny. And I told it to Micah, and he also didn't think it was funny. So obviously, I'm going to share it with you guys. I did share it on 1-2 News, but you probably didn't hear it because we had a ton of tech issues yesterday. But I told Scott, I said, yeah, so for our group case this week, because Christy and I do one case a week that we do together. It's not a psychic reading case. It's just a case that we're both interested in that we share. So I said, so for our group case this week, we're doing a cooking show. And Scott said, oh, really? That's weird. Why? And I said, oh, well, we're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer. Not funny. There's nothing funny about cannibalism, Katie. That's terrible. Anyway, but we did do Jeffrey Dahmer. That case broke this morning. Really interesting. I learned a lot. I thought I knew the Jeffrey Dahmer case. I did not. When I really dove into it and did a lot of research on it, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. Like, for example, the jury's actually still way out on whether or not he actually cannibalized or not. That may have just been some things that were said to try to deepen his attempt at an insanity plea. But yeah, I also did not know that he only attacked and killed men. And I didn't know that he mostly attacked and killed Black men. That was his MO. And yeah, so there you go. There's a horrible joke for you for the day. And if you're interested in our True Crime Paranormal work, just head over to True Crime Paranormal on YouTube or anywhere that podcasts are podcasted. All right. Let's see if there's anything else in Luminous that we wanted to know. I think we're good. All righty. So I do hope that you have a chance to sit with it. And as always, if you don't subscribe, you can subscribe by going over to katie-weaver.com. And there's a pop-up there that you can look at that you can give me your email address there. And then you can either Well, you can receive Luminous once a week and also the Daily Dish. So, the Daily Dish is the daily reading that I send out every morning. It's usually an energy read. Sometimes it's a warning, sometimes it's a behavior suggestion. I don't know. It's whatever comes through for me. I'm not in charge of it by any means. I just do what I'm told around here. Uh, Mostly, kind of, right? I know Scott never believes that's true, but it is true. Whatever spirit tells me to tell you, I tell you. But so I send that out every single morning. But I did want to share the daily dish for today. But anyway, if you go to katie-weaver.com, just put your email address there into the pop-up, and then I'll start sending you these things. So you'll get 8 emails a week from me. All right, so today, the Daily Dish said, you are feeling strong and capable today. This is a great time to apply for a job, launch a business, or market your existing skills. You rarely give yourself enough credit for your gifts, talents, and knowledge. Today, you should feel safe to let your light shine brightly. Even empaths should not have a problem with being seen today. Yeah. Well, stand out. Stand up. You know, it's so crazy. I caught a typo in that. Should read these out loud every day for sure. Oh, well, it is what it is. It's too late now. Anyway, that's what's new. That's what's up with me. That's Luminous. That is the Daily Dish. And I agree. Kelly says everyone should have flowers in their house. For real, right? For real. Only if you do have cut flowers in your house, you really need to pull the your flowers out and rinse them and rinse the water out every couple of days so that you don't get a moldy thing going on, because that's not good for your health either. You may make yourself sick, and you sure don't want to do that. Yeah. Lillian saw the typo. You tell me if you see a typo, you guys, for reals. It's okay. One person told me one time very rudely about a typo, and I got Grammarly. But you know what? Grammarly didn't catch that. So nice, Grammarly. What am I paying you for? Terry, who you should have, Lillian. It's totally fine. Yeah, I can't. I can fix it on the program anytime. I can't fix the email, because it's a picture, literally. But I still, yeah, you can always tell me if you see something. You guys know this brain is half unhinged. I might not catch something, and I really actually hate typos a lot. Drives me crazy. Terry says, how is your sister feeling? So Christy, you guys, most of you know my sister Christy. She had COVID back in at Thanksgiving time, and she hasn't, like, she's mostly recovered, except for that she's just feeling a little more tired than usual and has been feeling fairly out of breath, which, that's been, unfortunately, a lot of people that have had COVID have felt that way. And so she finally mentioned it to her doctor last week, and they did an x-ray, and one of her lungs is partially collapsed. So that explains the shortness of breath. So she saw the pulmonologist this morning, and they did not think that it was super serious. They thought that that it would be something that a different medication could help clear up. So luckily she's feeling pretty good, and thank you for asking. And yeah, good news from the doctor. He feels like we'll get this healed up and it's not going to be a super big deal. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys that have had COVID have had some long hauler stuff. I also know that a lot of you guys that have had the second shot got pretty sick from it. I haven't even had the first shot yet, so I can't speak for that. But I know a lot of you have. And they say that's your immune system doing its job, but that still really sucks. That's why I hate getting the flu shot. I always get sick from it. I usually don't get it because I get sick from it. But anyway, I digress. We don't have to talk about shots. We're all sick of it. But Karen's son is a Pisces, and he will be 18. How exciting. Congratulations. It's a weird thing, isn't it? My youngest turned 18 a couple of months ago, and I can't even believe it. However, occasionally it's nice to be able to be like, No, do it yourself. You are 18 years old. She's really good about doing things for herself. She'll go to the doctor on her own and make appointments. And I didn't do that with my older kids. I micromanaged them too much. I did too much for them without, putting some onus on them to do those things for themselves. And then, when they turned 18 and needed to start, doing some things for themselves, they were like, I have to go to the pharmacy. I have to call the doctor. I have to go to the DMV by myself, and I'm like, well, yeah, they were not as prepared. So I realized with them, this is how parenting goes. You realize how much you screwed up and you try to do better. At least I hope so. I did. My kids knew a lot of things. They could do laundry, they could cook, they can drive, they can, mostly take care of themselves, but it was in smaller details. Now, I will admit, I still file their taxes every year. I still file their financial aid. I still do things for them that at some point they should do for themselves. But anyway, so with Mars, I kind of drew back a little bit and was like, nope, you need to do these things for yourself. You need to be your own ride. You need to, and she does. She's pretty good. She has to have a monthly shot and she goes to the doctor herself. I don't even tell her to go. She has it scheduled in her phone. And on the 20th of every month, she will say, I'm due for my shot. I'm going to run over there and do it. I don't even go. I wouldn't go anyway because of COVID. I'm not going to go to any doctor's office that I don't have to. But anyway, I've tried harder to make her be more independent from me in various ways. And I think it's paid off. So we'll see. But I'm with you, Karen. It is very weird to have your kids turning 18, without a doubt. Now my oldest is 21. And that's very weird as well, because now he can drink if he wants to. Not that he wasn't before, because, teenagers, college students, my God. But anyway, getting older and older. It's fine. We'll be fine. All right, let's take a look at the chat room. Maureen said, if you have time, Megan has an interview for a summer intern position. Ooh, paid with J&J Farm virtually on Friday. Ooh, I like that, Maureen. Let's feel into it. She has a really good chance at getting that job. I feel like they're going to be really impressed with her drive and with her attitude and also with her Title IX stuff, that she's done some really good work, some things to help set her up for her future, and that she already has good leadership skills. She already is a go-getter. She already has good work experience. All of those things I think are going to speak very well for her there. But I would make sure that she hones in a little bit on her Title IX stuff, that they know that she's, she can do hard things. She represents well. I think she has a very good chance at it. Okay, let's see what else is going on in here. Lillian said she would love to hear something from Win. He died back in the 80s. Would he confirm what I am feeling? Let's tune into that. So he says that you guys had an energy that won't ever be replicated with others. He said you were certainly soulmates at the time. And then he winked and he said, I'll see you again, kid. He's been hanging around. Yeah, honey. He says that was just a special time and a special thing going on. Yep. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Talk to him. He's hanging out. He says that you've just had so many people, that have already left, and it just leaves you kind of hanging out here like, what next? What do I do now? And he just wants you to know that he's certainly aware of that. But I like that little wink and that I'll see you again, kid. That was cute. He's a sweetheart. Okay. Let's see. Jessica, I'm so glad you made it today. All right, Tiffany. Checking in on your left leg. Been bugging me for over a month. I may have injured it when I was blacking out. Not sure, though. I'm wondering about that too, Tiffany, because it feels like you have a pretty deep bruise. But because of what's going on with you, what's been going on with your health here the last little while, I really think it's something that should be mentioned. Just because you've had some mystery health stuff happening. And I think this is something that really needs to be brought up to your doctor just to clear you, make sure that it's not something to do with what's going on with you. But I do feel like you banged it pretty good more than once in the same spot. But tell me that you'll mention it to your doctor, please. I feel like you need to. All right. Pamela could use a little more energy. Well, let's give you a little boost, huh? So let's use the theory of ethereal crystals and put a Herkimer diamond in your crown chakra to amp up your energy, Pamela. All right. So just joining you. All right. And I am going to call the ethereal energy of a Herkimer diamond. I'm going to press that into your crown. Yep. And then I'm going to really activate that. Yeah. That's an awesome download. That gave me chills all the way down my spine to amp up your physical energy so that you can get a few more things done too. And I think that'll help amp up some creative energy for you too, Pamela. This feels like you need a little extra bump right now. All right. Sid says, will you please check in with Patchouli to see if her breathing is easier? Is this something she's had for a long time? And can she say what makes it worse? Please tell her that I can help her more. Patchouli's a dog, in case you guys are wondering. Please tell her that I can help her more if she will let me work on her paws and lower legs, but she needs to keep her teeth off my skin. Yikes. Yeah, no blood or bruising allowed. That does not seem unreasonable, Sid. Let's tune into her. Yeah, her breathing is a little easier. Let's be really careful with sodium with her. Make sure we're not filling her up with water. I really am suspicious about her heart. That's really what's going on with the breathing. But it is better right now for sure. So you can talk to your vet about it. But I'm just asking her with the legs, just be a little more patient, please. And I'm just reminding her that you are doing nothing but trying to help and to make those legs feel better. They really hurt quite a lot. It makes her grumpy and out of sorts. Yeah, of course it does. All right. So I'm asking her to please, while you're working on her legs, to just turn her head and close her eyes. And that I'm reminding her that you are being very, very careful and that you do not want to hurt her. You only want to help. And of course, I'm showing her that biting is absolutely never acceptable. Yeah. Darn it. Poor thing. She's really got a few issues going on. You are an angel, my friend, for taking this girl on and trying to help her. What a sweetheart you are. Yeah. Okay. Sid's considering an air fryer. Ooh, Sid, I love my air fryer. You know I have one. Of course I do. What did I say about kitchen stuff? I love my air fryer. They are awesome. They do make great french fries. They make really good wings too. And I like to cook bacon in mine because then it doesn't splash all over the kitchen. Yeah. Okay. Mary, I'm glad that you made it today. Let's see. It's a good reminder. Sid said she cannot have fresh flowers in her house. And you know what? I think that getting some silk flowers is just as nice. My mom used to have this yellow pitcher that had yellow daffodils in it that were silk. And every spring she'd get those out and put them on the kitchen table. And she loved looking at those. I think that's great too. Yeah. Karen said she's feeling very frustrated that she doesn't have a good job. romantic love, or frankly, enjoyment in her life. Will things turn around for me? Let's take a look, Karen. I'm going to pull you a card, actually. I actually brought a deck I was going to work with today, and then I forgot. But this, this is the Wild Kuan Oracle. I really love these cards. There's something very unique about them. So I'm just going to pull you a card or two here, Karen. And I'm sorry that things have been bleak. COVID has put us in such a weird waiting period. And I know some of this has been going on for you since before COVID too, but it's just really like thrown the brakes on like literally everything, but particularly dating so much. And I know that has just created a lot of loneliness and frustration for so many people. Okay, the first card is the Priestess of Perfect Pairing makes the match, which speaks to me of a relationship. I actually do feel like there could be a relationship coming by the end of this year. It looks to me like you find somebody in kind of an unlikely place. I am going to recommend that you look for more than one group to be involved with, more than one. And I know it's hard to be in groups, right? But I think groups, whether they're study groups, book groups, church groups, geocaching groups, like I know that's out there, underwater basket weaving groups, whatever. As things start to open up more, we're going to see more groups forming. Karen, I feel like you need to be involved in a few things like that so that you're actually exposed to other people, because you can't win the lottery if you don't play. In other words, it's hard to date when you really aren't exposed to anyone. And so I do feel like it'll be in joining some groups that you find someone. The other card, interestingly, was it's okay to fall, which again makes me think, yeah, there's going to be a relationship coming, right? And it'll be on you in some ways to allow yourself to let that into your life. It's been a while and your trust has been seriously broken by people. And so it'll be an interesting stretch for you, I think. On the job front, I feel like something gets better with jobs for you much sooner than that. I feel like on the job front, by the end of April, actually, we see you with good news in the job department. So don't give up. Keep pushing on that. Keep applying. Keep talking to people. Because work-wise, I feel like things really are opening up for you pretty soon. So yes, answer, things do get better. All right, Laura says we had to fire our contractor and we have a yard full of windows and doors ready to be installed. Any insight on a new contractor? We've contacted a few places and we're waiting to hear back. Will one of those door look out, or should we keep looking? Keep looking. Keep looking. I feel like what we're finding right now is a lot of really busy people. We need to find someone who had a job coming, a job getting ready to start that fell through, that have some time carved out. So keep looking. Mary said she feels like an insight is coming through, or a breakthrough is coming through for me really soon. Any insight on this? Mary, I think so too. I think it is a spiritual one. I feel like you have a new gift coming to the surface. Really pay attention to that, as you have either things that you get really drawn to study or to learn about, or new intuition developing. I feel like something is blooming in you. It's pretty exciting. Terry said, I've been in the hospital for over 17 weeks. I know, sweetheart. Don't know if I will ever get to come home. I miss my cat so much. My son checks on him every night after work. Will he remember me? Oh, yeah. Honey, he's still connected to your heart. He's still connected to your soul. He's always going to remember you. I'm still holding lots of faith with you, too, that you find a way to be able to come home. And I do want you to know that, me and the other hosts here and the chatters, like, we've known you for a long time and we love you and care about you. And we are all pulling for you to be able to make a full recovery here and be able to do just that. I'm sorry things have been hard. I'm so glad that you have your family. You have some good ones over there that are taking good care of you, I know. And they miss you too. Okay. Taking a look in the other chat room now. Let's see. Sorry. Bad radio when you're just reading. Okay, Sharon said, I was about to take a nap when I thought I heard something on my phone. It was you. Wow. Look at me peeking in. Have been thinking about you strongly and what you told me last week regarding a love, even at my age. I'm intrigued and in shock. Well, Sharon, I'm happy to hear that. But just like I told Karen, you guys have got to be exposed to some people to meet some people. And especially if you don't want to date online, and dating online is such a crapshoot. However, I highly recommend that you really do consider, when it's safe to, joining more meetup type groups where you meet more people. That applies to everyone. Okay. Yeah, Terry said the best thing we did was teach the teens how to cook, and lots of other kids didn't do it much at all and gave them cooking utensils in their stockings for Christmas. Yeah, I did things like that too. And my son, actually both of my kids, none of their roommates know how to cook. My kids are tearing it up in the kitchen all the time, and their roommates are shocked because they, you know, throw chicken nuggets and tater tots in the oven, and my kids are, like making real meals all the time. It's wild. Okay. Oh, Lillian said, now you and Win have me crying. He was a special man, a gorgeous man, inside and out. He still is. Yep. All right. Thank you, Pamela. My honor. Okay. Okay, Sharon wants to know more. Where do I go for a reading? So, you guys, to get a reading from me, you just go over to 12listen.com. It's number 2listen.com, and find me there, Katie Weaver. And there's lots of ways to go. As long as I'm signed in there, whatever, we're on sale quite a bit, or our regular rates posted there too. You can just call as long as I'm signed in. Or if you click on my profile, there's lots of other options. You can get a time-based session, which is what I recommend. Time-based sessions are always the best price. And then we know how much time we're working with. So you can buy a block of time, like 15 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes. And you purchase that, and then you call me, and the computer will initiate that call, and then we'll have that much time to talk. Or you can do an email reading. If you'd rather just write to me and write me a question and have me write you back the answer, there's a way to do that there too. Or if you don't want to call, there's a chat option too, that we can chat back and forth, just like instant messaging, but through the Click for Advisor system. So it's, once you figure out how to use the system, it's a tiny bit complicated. And the reason why is because they are extremely careful about your security and your money. And so there are a few hoops to jump through in order to be able to spend your money with us. That's to make sure it's you and that you want to spend your money with us. I actually had one incident last year with a girl who called me twice for an extended amount of time, and it wasn't her credit card. And so at the end of the day, whoever's credit card it was got their money back, and it came out of my paycheck. And it's not the end of the world. Don't feel bad for me at all. It happens. But that's why, if you ever think our system seems kind of complicated, it is. And that's the reason why, to keep you guys safe and to keep us safe. But that's how to do it, Sharon. And I would love to talk to you. Okay. Laura says, hi, I'm new. Can I get a reading? I literally have 1 minute left, Laura. I'm going to pull you a really fast card. That's just all we have time left for. Okay. Laura, my first impressions of you are that you are quite psychic yourself, that you have had a lot of people not really understand your energy. You've been quite misunderstood by others and put down. And maybe it's been through religion too, but I feel like your gifts have not been honored, and that you're really feeling a lot of them trying to emerge. Okay, so the card is Blue Mother, Yellow Mountain, Gibbous Moon. This is a card that really speaks of connecting to the energy of the earth, which wouldn't surprise me at all because you feel to me like you're a bit of a moon child yourself. So, Laura, honestly, without really having time for a full reading, my advice for you is you continue to really explore your gifts. I think you're very psychic. I think you're a born healer and that there's a lot you could be doing with that. And I think maybe you're already doing some of that, but take it to heart. I think that you have a very special spirit that needs to continue to push forward in the things that you're drawn to. And don't share your dreams with people that are going to tear them down. Just don't let them have that. Alrighty, you guys, we've definitely done what we do. We've talked to the end of the show and then some. You can find me back here on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. with Strange Phenomena and Mysteries with Raven and Kelly. And of course, I'll be over at 12listen.com every single day. So thanks so much for being here. This is the Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing